So yesterday we were reintroduced to the campaign of Modern Warfare 3, and with it we saw two things were going to be coming. We first of all have what we'll call the linear missions. These are the stereotypical Call of Duty missions that we have in every single game, where you kind of go through a specific set of objectives that you have to do, and you can't really make any changes to how you do them. But they have also introduced something brand new to Modern Warfare 3 called open combat missions, and that's kind of what they explained to us today. How they're going to work, how you go about them, how looting works, how dropping into them is going to work. It's a brand new thing to the campaign that is going to go alongside the story, and the story is going to progress through them. It isn't an additional thing like Spec Ops was in Modern Warfare 2. And in this video, that is what we're going to talk about. We're going to go through the trailer that they put out today, discuss some things that may have missed in it, and discuss what these open combat missions are all about. So without further ado, this is what they showed us. So first off, they started by showing us dropping in from the sky into a set of missions. Now, these missions are going to have set objectives. However, how you complete them is up to you. So in other words, you could jump in like you see here off the dam, which we'll talk about in a minute, go in guns a-blazing, or you can do something a little bit more stealthy. Find a weapon that has a suppressor and sneak your way along using night vision goggles, so on and so forth. Now, it appears to be throughout this at least 4 different open combat missions that we are seeing. And to compare them to something else, I would most compare them to the Spec Ops missions within Modern Warfare 2. However, from everything that I've seen, you are going to be completing these alone. Now, they did explain to us that when you go into one of these missions, they are going to send you in with a loadout. However, once you go in, you can loot through, and just like you saw there, open up a crate, get a completely different weapon. It may be silenced, it may be not, but based off of what you find, you have to adapt and change how you're going to play through that mission. Now, when I first saw these, I said that they were open world missions, but it doesn't really seem like that. It just seems like a larger area of a mission that you can choose how you go through it, whether you want to use vehicles, whether you want to use suppressors, whether you want to sneak along through the map and not get caught. Now, at the end of the video, I'm going to give you my opinion on these, but based off of what we are seeing here, just think a larger scale Call of Duty mission where you don't have to go through it linearly. You can pick how you go through it, where you start, but you do have fixed objectives. That is not going to change. And keep in mind that they did say that you can use things like kill streaks to go through these missions and do them that way. And you can see throughout this trailer the various different areas you go through and then playing with different play styles, going in with a knife like you're seeing here, or using kill streaks and just going in completely guns a-blazing and blowing everything up. Now, they also gave us an example of a mission. You may recognize this. This is Gora Dam from Verdansk. So it has been confirmed that Verdansk is returning within the Modern Warfare 3 campaign at the very least. We're going to dive more into that in a video coming out tomorrow, but this is the mission that they gave us. I'm going to show the gameplay from the trailer intertwined with what we are talking about. So they say, this is Verdansk Gora Dam. Unlike the Gora Dam that players remember from 2019, the Gora River waters run deep in 2023. From atop the dam, Simon Ghost Riley, so you're playing as Ghost, who players control as a part of this mission, must defuse several bomb sites in the vicinity of the dam, one of which is on a moving truck. How Ghost complete this mission is completely up to you. Ghost is armed with a fully kitted out assault rifle for weapons-free engagements, but also has a silenced sidearm, a pair of binoculars, a lethal and a tactical grenade, as well as additional equipment that may contain even more options for completing the mission. This is just Ghost's infill ordnance. You have a wide variety of weaponry, arraignments, and other items optionally gather as the mission progresses and your tactics change and adapt. So essentially, you have 5 bombs throughout Gora Dam that you have to defuse. How you do it is completely up to you, but your objectives is to simply defuse them. Like I said, this is a lot like the Spec Ops missions we saw within Modern Warfare 2. So from having a look at the trailer, it appears as though there's 5 different open combat missions that are throughout the trailer. Maybe some of them cross over, but 5 here to begin with. The first one that we have is the one where you were dropping into what appears to be a nuclear base, and I believe that this is in Verdansk. It's hard to tell, but from everything I'm seeing, that's what it looks like. Then we have this one that appears to be in some sort of city center. This is really the only video that I could see from this area. Then of course we have the Gora Dam mission that we just talked about. Once again, this one is in Verdansk, and we know that we play as Simon Ghost Riley defusing bombs throughout it. Then we have this one where you appear to be coming out of the water on some sort of coast. I'm not sure where this one is, but it appears to be very different than the other ones that we see. And then we have the night vision one that we see several times throughout the trailer as well, which looks very much so like a mission from the Spec Ops of Modern Warfare 2. And there's also one more, and I'm not sure if this is a separate mission, but it appears to be on some sort of cargo shipping area on the map that could be in Verdansk or somewhere else altogether, even in Omazra. I'm not 100% sure, but it looks different than the other ones, so maybe that's a sixth one. A Sledgehammer also tweeted out an image of what the loadouts look like for campaign. So you can see the difficulties on veteran. It doesn't say what the mission objectives are, but down below it says items discovered. So once you play through the mission and you discover items, you can then put them in your loadout. So this one has 14 of 32. We're using the Holger 5.56. We have the silenced Core 45, a smoke grenade, a throwing knife. You can put one other thing on there, it looks like, and then you can also use the ascender and parachute. I don't know if those are just given, but you can find them. And then of course you can start the mission as well. So these missions are going to be different than your normal campaign missions just simply because they're not as linear, which means, in my opinion, a bit worse of storytelling. I find that the missions that Call of Duty does best and tells a story the best are the ones that go in a straight line and you're kind of kept on rails. Missions like All Gillied Up, Clean House, things like that are very refined in what you do. And these ones that go wider, like we are seeing here, don't, in my opinion, do as well story-wise, but they do seem like a fun change of pace. Now, from what I'm seeing in the comments on my last couple of videos, people aren't so fired up for these missions. They much prefer what I am talking about being the more refined missions, or as we're calling them, the linear missions from traditional Call of Duty games. From what I'm seeing here, though, we have between 5 and 6 missions, and typically a Call of Duty game is somewhere between 15 to 18 missions long. Some of the longer ones have like 21, but generally speaking, I think if we average it out, it's somewhere around 16 missions throughout a typical Call of Duty campaign. So it appears as though less than half will be these open combat missions, and the rest will be your more traditional storytelling style missions. Now, if you're asking my opinion on this, I don't think this is a bad thing. People are outright coming out and saying they're not buying the game because of these missions, and I think that is silly. If you look at typical Call of Duty campaigns, they need to change things up. If they don't change things throughout a Call of Duty franchise, people are just going to get bored with the campaigns, and they need to do things like that. Even in Modern Warfare 2, the mission where you go in as Ghost and you are picking up items, crafting things, is something completely different. Do I want every Call of Duty mission to be like that? No, but they need to change things up. One of my favorite campaigns, gameplay-wise, was Black Ops Cold War, and the reason for that was some of the missions where you were like went into the KGB and you had to talk your way through problems and get through a puzzle isn't a normal Call of Duty mission. So I don't think these open combats are a bad idea. It's just if there's too many of them and they don't progress the story properly, I think that's where it becomes a problem. But to have a few of these missions scattered throughout the campaign, in my opinion, is a good change of pace. It's just how many are they and whether they work telling the story in the proper way. At least that's my opinion on them. But of course, with something like this, I want to hear what you guys think. So if you guys have a set opinion on this kind of thing, let me know what you think down in the comments. I'll be very curious to hear what you guys have to say. Also, if you enjoy my videos, keeping you up to date on everything new coming to the next game, be sure to subscribe, turn notifications on, and hit that like button, as it really does help out the channel. But as always, I really hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, peace out.
We are reaching for the stars, but we're making